sunshine when she's gone. She always goes so long every time she goes away. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. It's not warm when she's away. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. She always goes so long every time she goes away. I know you might be wondering why did I just do one verse, but that's just a little tribute to the late great Bill Withers. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. Good evening and welcome to another in the series of guitar lessons, free guitar lessons, and I'll be doing this for 8 weeks. This is week number 3, and in response to a few questions, I'm going to focus a little bit on singing and a little bit on making the song that you're trying to play on the guitar sound right. So let's begin with singing. If you look at singing as expressive speech, so you have something to say, but instead of saying it, I love you, you say I love you. Something, you sing it, it's different from saying it word for word, but the trick, I think, or the clue in the whole thing is that you're expressing a thought, a feeling, but nicely. And so one thing you need to have down when you're singing, you must know the words to the song, the lyrics. A lot of people run into trouble singing, but it's not so much the song, it's the fact that there are a few things going on in their mind. What's the next verse? Am I singing the words right? So even as you're trying to sing, there are thoughts going on in your head which will affect what the listener hears. So a good place to start is to make sure you know the words to the song. Another thing is, stick with songs that you think you're in charge of. Meaning you don't attempt to sing a Mozart aria or a Bruce Springsteen song, unless you know what you're doing and can pull it off. So start simple. Start with simple songs. Simple in the sense that they're not less important, as I'm sure for the writer, but songs that don't demand a lot of memorizing, it's not a big thing. For example, if you think of, let's think of the Bob Marley song, Three Little Birds. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Rise up this morning, smile with the rising sun. Three little birds pitch by my doorsteps, singing sweet songs, melodies pure and true, saying, this is my message to you. There you have it. Don't worry about a thing. Every little thing is gonna be all right. Rise up this morning, smile with the rising sun. Three little birds pitch by my doorsteps, singing sweet songs of melodies pure and true, saying, this is my message to you. So it's like meeting someone and say, especially now, everybody is stressed out, or most people. You're saying, don't worry, everything is going to be all right. And then you share the experience you had. I woke up this morning, three little birds are right there on my doorsteps, singing sweet songs, bringing you good news, a message that's uplifting, and saying, that's my message to you. So think of singing as sharing a thought, a feeling you have, delivering a message. And if you think about it in that way, whatever you're planning to share in terms of song will go across more effectively. Don't burden yourself with a long song with complicated lines and lyrics that are not easy to remember. Think of, for example, the birthday song. In the first lesson, I played the birthday song, which is a song you should learn to play at any given time of the night or day. It's in the key of G. You can go back and look at it, but it's pretty straightforward, and the lyrics are repeated. The same thing 3 times. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Peter or Mary or Jane. Happy birthday to you. Okay, I always tag that little piece on. All right. So there you have it. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Now, the art of singing says, to just say the same thing 3 times the same way is not interesting. So the first line, it's happy birthday to you. And you reinstate that. Happy birthday to you. And now you're going to make it personal. Happy birthday, dear Mary. Happy birthday. And then you finish it off. To you. There you have it. Words clearly stated, simply put. The next thing is to make it sound right. So if you were to write the chords out, the words out, this would begin with the G chord. Again, look back at the past 2 postings, the past 2 videos to reinforce the G chord. So happy birthday to you. You change to D7. You. And you stay there. Happy birthday to you. Go back to the G. Repeat the G. Happy birthday, dear. You know who you're singing it for. Mary or Peter or whoever you're singing it for. And the C chord. Happy. You go back to G. Birthday. And then you finish it off with the D7. And how do I get that rolling sound on the D chord? I start on the 4th string and just drag my thumb across 4, 3, 2, 1. The 4th, the 3rd, the 2nd, and the 1st string to get that roll. 2. Slow it down, and then you end on you. So first thing, know the words of the song. Stick with a simple song, a song that expresses a feeling, an idea, a thought, and you want to share it, okay? You're not in any rush, hopefully. You want to lay it out plain and simple. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Now notice that my right hand is keeping up a steady strumming pattern. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So you would see that indicated in some books as with a feeling of 3. Here it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So the melody, the part of the song that you can walk around and replay in your head or whistle. So you should be able to sing the melody of the song that you're trying to learn to la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. So So you went high and work your way back down. La 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 la, and you trail it out. La. So the idea of making the song sound right begins with knowing the words of the song, know where the feel goes up, where it stays for a while before it goes back down. And the best way to know that is to choose a song that you know. And if you know the song, treat it like poetry at the beginning. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Joseph, or Mary, or Tom. Happy birthday to you. And there you have it. It's straightforward, clear cut, and it expresses the sentiment you have or you feel inside your heart. Sharing it with somebody, and hopefully they'll accept it as you present it. But you have to know the song. You have to know the words. You have to know where it speeds up if it does, where it slows down, where it begins, where the middle is, where you hit a high point, and where you go back down. One good advice is don't panic. Don't try to make it more than it is. You're sharing a song. Do the best you can, and you can do that if you know the words to the song. So I'm stressing it over and over. Start with a song that you know, and it's not an accident that this is the third time that I'm doing the birthday song. Chances are, if you have a guitar at home or you can pick out a tune on the piano, this is a song that you're going to be called upon to play or to sing or to pick out on the piano, because somebody you know has a birthday. If it's not this month, it's the next month. It's one of the months in the year, and they might call on you, and hopefully you'll be able to play the song for them. Okay, so that's my little bit on singing. Know the words of the song, feel comfortable with it, no guessing. You should know the words word for word, and you don't have to do the complete. If it's a long song, you could just do one verse or two verses and the chorus, and then that's all you have to offer, and you stop there. Okay, so begin with a song that you know and treat it like poetry before you actually put it to song. So you're clear where it stops, where there's a pause, where it peaks, and where it comes back down and end it. Okay? All right, now if you're a guitar player or you're a student, the art of accompanying a singer, okay, we're riffing on the idea of making it sound right. The guitar player, you have to know the progression, the way the chords fall in the song. What's the first chord? What's the second chord? Where do you go to that chord in the song? And I'll advise you that you, again, go with a song that's straightforward, a song that has in 2 or 3 chords. You don't want a complicated piece when you're trying to sharpen or to develop your playing skills. And there's some songs that, for example, I'm going to show you. Let's look at the idea of placing pointer on the 3rd string in the 1st fret. So there it is, string number 1, pressing the 3rd string in the 1st fret. And I'm going to set up a little riff, right? So the first chord, I'm strumming from the 3rd string, pressing the 3rd in the 1st fret, and my thumb or a pick is going to brush across from the 3rd. So there's a little rhythm to that. Or a little. So I go. And then I'm going to go to another position. I'm going to use finger 1 and press these 3 strings in the 1st fret. Some students try to press the 3rd, 2nd, and 1st strings with 3 fingers. That's a little cumbersome because the space is so small. if you can manage to sort of get this idea on this string. So the thumb is at the back of the guitar neck and this finger is in the front pressing the first 3 strings. So like this. See that? So, and then the same feel from the third with the thumb. So it's there. And back to this. And then 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 this. So I can slow it down. And then to this. Then to this. So there you have this. And then this. Okay, so you see I'm setting up a little groove there. And then so you have to feel that and so it's this and then this and then this and then this, and so we have baby let's cruise away from here, and then this, then don't be confused, the way is clear, and then to this, and then to this, let the music take your mind, and then to this, just release and you will find you're gonna fly away, glad you're going my way. Right? What song is that? Smokey Robinson, Cruising. And that whole first part is just that little riff, this. And then to this. And then to this. And then to this. And if you want it, you got it forever. This is not a one-night stand. Then this. And then to let the music take your mind. And then to this. Just release and you will find you're gonna fly away, glad you're going my way. Then this, and that's where that little groove ends, which is another part of the song. The idea is you set up that little riff. Now if you're accompanying a singer, the singer's job would be to get the feel of that groove you set up. This, and then this, and then to, the song sings itself, and then to, let's cruise away from here. And you know Smokey's very smooth, it's not rougher than that. And then this, the way is clear. And then to this, and then to let the music take your mind. So it's nothing, you might hear the song and think, wow, it's a whole heap of things. No, it's just that little riff. And then to this. So if you can play the little riff, you can play the old first part of Cruising with Smokey Robinson. And that is how you make the song sound right. Just setting up the riff and the song sings itself. So practice to, that's like the foundation. You know, the musicians are playing. So by the time the singer comes, everything falls into place. Your job is to back up the singer if you're accompanying. So don't worry about the lyrics. One of the big issues with beginning players is that they're not focusing on their musical business. They're wondering what the singer, don't worry about the singer. If you lay the groundwork, baby, let's cruise away from here. Usually the beginning student will start to drift and want to second guess where is the singer going next. That's not the guitarist's business. Your thing is to play this until the singer, like Michael Jackson, does that twirl and bow, and then you stop. Just do your thing there. And so on. So the idea behind accompanying a singer has to do with sticking with your part and stay with it. You have to know it inside out, meaning you have to do the homework. For example, for this week, if you practice, just this little riff is pretty easy. And you might say, yeah, it's easy for you. But I'm telling you, one finger pressing the third string in the first fret, and from the third string, you're just brushing across. And there. The trickiest thing is to get that little humph in there. Then, so it's like this, and then to this, and then the song unfolds just like that. So set up a little riff, no matter what the song is, even if it's a song that you write, so much so. You set up a little riff and you stick with it, and you say, okay, that's the first verse, now let me do verse 2, then okay, I can do this for the chorus. That's writing the song, setting your lyrics to words. You play the chords, record it if you on your phone or something, and then match the words to it. Some people do it the other way. They do the words first and then try to match the music to it. Whichever way you do it, the idea is to make, in the end, both things come together nicely. Okay, I'm kind of moving a little quickly this week. Another thing I want to point out is repertoire. What songs do you sing? You can sing songs that comforts one, a song that celebrates an occasion. If you go to church, you can lead the chorus or lead the prayer session with a song. One of my favorite songs is there's a story behind this progression. The first time I heard this was way back in the 70s in a Clint Eastwood movie. It was a cowboy movie, and the guy's riding into town. And then the cowboy and the bad guy would square off in the street. Now that was the song, the melody, or that riff is mostly known for. There's a song called "The House of the Rising Sun," which is a song that describes a wayward person who spends his money, chasing girls. But the House of the Rising Sun is an house of ill repute, to put it mildly. But later on, somebody said, why not transform that into a song that everyone will understand and can relate to? So years ago, I did it in a church, and the older folks, they know the whole story behind the song. So when I started, you could hear a pin drop in the congregation, right? They think, how could he be singing this song in a church? Until I started it. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. Everybody exhaled, so I wasn't going to sing the House of the Rising Sun in the church. I knew better than that. So that's a song. The melodies, the progression is very beautiful. A minor to a C, D minor, add F, A minor to a C, then an E major. Very Spanish sounding thing there. So that's another beautiful song that you can explore, playing the progression A minor to a C to a D minor, add an F there, back to A minor to C, then an E major chord, and that repeats. That's another song that it will pull out of you, all the expressiveness inside of you. And I'm using finger style where I'm sort of leading with the bass. Sort of hammering out the bass notes. Straight strum. Da-da, 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 da-da. If you want to add a little Spanish texture to it. But that's the song, and it's one of many which you can, it's not difficult. It takes a little practice, but it's a very, it's a song with very deep feeling. And especially in the context of leading a worship service. To Amazing Grace. And so on, okay? The next thing which I want to end up with the session with this week is the idea of a medley, where someone asked me, how do you meld one song into the other song? And it's pretty much, it takes some practice, and I used to Bob Marley's song to demonstrate this. The one I did earlier, don't worry about the thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Rise up this morning, smile with the rising sun. 3 little birds push by my doorsteps now, singing sweet songs, melodies pure and true. Sing, this is my message to you. One love, one heart, let's get together and feel alright. One love, one heart, give thanks and praise to the Lord, and I'll feel alright. Sing, let's get together and feel alright. Give thanks and praise to the Lord, and I'll feel alright. Let's get together and feel alright. Alright, so there you have it. I went from which on my doorsteps, singing sweet songs, yeah, of melodies pure and true. Sing, this is my message to you. Now this G7 leads my ear into going into the one love, one heart. Let's get together and feel alright. So I go from one song straight into the second song, albeit from the same singer, smoothly. And there's a way to do that. In an upcoming lesson, I'll go over a transposition or transitioning from one song to the next and make it feel or sound seamless. You don't want it to be too obvious. You could just switch from one song to the next without anybody raising an eyebrow, because it just flows. And there's a way to set that up, and you just flow into the next song. These 2 last songs are for people who are players already, and again, like I promised, I'll be presenting stuff that you can work with. You can message me with regards to where you are in your playing and what you would like me to address as we go. This is week number 3 of 8. Invite your friends to come on, hop on, learn to play the guitar. By week number 8, you should be able to play a song. I'm sort of repeating myself. Right up to the 4th or the 5th session, I'll be repeating things because repetition is a very important element in catching the techniques and the skill necessary to rock out later on. Okay, so week 6, I'll be asking you to prepare something, those of us who have an instrument, or I'll be suggesting a song and hopefully you'll be able to sing it. Again, the idea is to choose songs that you know well. You don't want to be trying to remember what verse you are, what words come next, and so on. You should be on top of that, know the words. If it's your song, so much better. You know what you wrote, and so that helps out if it's your song. But if it's a well-known song, go online and get the lyrics and just practice a small part of it. And be in charge of that part of it. Meaning you know it, you know the words, you know where there's a pause, you know where it speeds up, where it slows down, and where it trails off softly. All right. Until next week, happy strumming. See you then.